One Piece chapter 1099, it is titled Pacifist. We are continuing with the Kuma flashback. In this chapter, it showed why Kuma was called a tyrant and how he became the king of the Sorbet kingdom. We also know why he ended up having to leave, how he became a pirate, the fact that he finally met Vegapunk, and how the Pacifistas became a thing. But if you guys enjoy regular anime content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. With that away, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's get into chapter 1099's breakdown. King Bekori, he is back and he is burning down the lawless area that consists of the land with Kuma's church and the elderly village. This is to make the amount that the Sorbet kingdom has to give up to the celestial dragons through the heavenly tribute a little bit less. He's doing this because of something that he saw from another kingdom in the far east. That would be the Goa kingdom, specifically the Gray Terminal. Similar to the lawless area, the Gray Terminal was a place of unwanted items and people who are constantly poor and sick, which is why the royal family burnt it down. But in the end, back at the Sorbet kingdom, Kuma, he went crazy and ended up defeating King Bekori, and this was known as the solo revolution of Sorbet kingdom. Because of his actions, and not only talking about defeating King Bekori, but everything he's done for the kingdom, different individuals nominated Kuma to become king, and he accepted. Now he's only a figurehead, and the king that was before Bekori, his name is Bulldog, he is the real king that's running the show. There's a girl that is running around the church, and a lot of people are saying that she's as pretty as Jenny, and this is Bonney running around, who ate a devil fruit and aged herself. I'm gonna put a pin in this because I want to talk about this a little bit later in the video, but I do like the fact that Oda, he didn't make Jenny and Bonney copy and paste of each other. Sometimes, and this is more so talking about the mothers and the daughters in One Piece, Oda tends to make them look a lot alike. When you look at some examples, there's Scarlet and Rebecca, there is Vivi and her mother, and then there's also Hiyori and Toki. The only changes that he made to them is that he changed how their hair looked, whether it was a little bit lighter or a shade darker. But when it comes to Bonney and Jenny, if you look at them side by side, you could probably tell that they look very similar, but they don't look like copy and paste, and I think that's an added touch. Circling back to Bonney eating a devil fruit, we know that there is a devil fruit book or encyclopedia for a long time, and personally I thought that something important like this would be rare, but we seen Sanji, he mentioned it when he wanted the clear fruit, Blackbeard about the Yami Yami, Vegapunk when he was talking about Luffy, and then in this chapter some random old guy, he's reading from it. So I guess you could say that the book is not really that rare. Devil fruits are rare and expensive, so the chances of it being in the lawless kingdom is really rare, meaning that Bonney could have only eaten the devil fruit two ways. We know that the celestial dragons, they use devil fruits as prizes and as methods of entertainment, so could they have forced her as a baby to eat this devil fruit, hoping that it could age her in the way that they could have some fun with her? That's a possibility. The second being desire, and we gotta look back at Vegapunk's theory in chapter 1069. He stated that every devil fruit is a possibility for human evolution that someone desired. If only I could be like this, if only I could be like that. What is it that Bonney desires? It's simple, that's age. We've seen that she desires to, when she turns 20, go to the Sky Island. When she's 19, the Fishman Island. Heck, she even believes that once she turns 10, that her illness will be gone. So yes, she wants to age, and the devil fruit, knowing that, could have possibly made its way over to her. I mean, we saw that Joy Boy's devil fruit, the Hirohito Mononika, that it had been escaping the government for such a long time. So it doesn't shock me, or wouldn't shock me, that this devil fruit made its way to Bonney. We don't know for certain because Vegapunk's statement about desires is only a theory. So after talking to Bulldog, apparently King Bekori, he is trying to make a third comeback and take over the Sorbet kingdom. I know that Kuma is a nice guy, but dang, send this ninja somewhere else if you're not going to kill him. Like, you know that he's going to keep trying and take over this kingdom. There's also an article that came out talking about the incident, talking about Kuma calling him a tyrant. This is probably either Morgans or the world government. We know what all they do about propaganda and spin the narrative to make them look better. Because we know that Kuma, he is a strong person, and when push comes to shove, he will cause mayhem, but he is not a tyrant. So in order to protect everyone in the kingdom, he decides to leave the country and become a pirate. When he's at sea, he ends up sinking the ship that King Bekori is on, and he got a bounty. Now, we don't know what his original first bounty was, but we do know that once he became a warlord, his frozen bounty was 296 million. On his journeys, Kuma, he visits different islands, and we see every single island that these straw hats they got sent to during Sabaody. So choppers, we see Namis, we see Usops, every single one of them. And Kuma, he is trying to figure out a cure or see if anybody knows about how to cure sapphire scales. And this also makes mention that Kuma can probably only use his devil fruit and send people to various locations that he's already seen or been at. All hope appears lost, but Kuma ends up running into Dragon again and other members of the revolutionary army consisting of Morley and Betty. Ivankov and Inazuma, they are in prison, and based off of this time frame, it would be anywhere between 5 and 7 years that they would have been in prison. I think, well, actually it would be more if you count the time skip, it would be more 3 to 5 years. One thing that I will give Dragon credit for is I like the fact that he didn't allow anyone to take the captain of the East Forces position, because that is something that Jenny had and that they would need permission from Kuma. It kind of reminds me of Whitebeard and not giving up the second commander position because that was Odin's and he gave it up for Ace. Kuma, he gives Betty permission, and then Dragon tells him about there's a man who is a scientist that could potentially save Bonney and Vegapunk. And Kuma, he's like, hey, I got nothing to lose. I was starting to panic a little bit, so I might as well try this lead. Kuma, he goes to Egghead Island, and it was originally not called that. Bonney made mention of this the chapter after we were introduced to her, that she came to this island before it was titled Egghead as a child, which she came here in order to cure her sapphire scales. And that's what Vegapunk did, because he used technology that wasn't on the market or nobody has seen just yet. He's going to cure her by using stem cells and transplanting them. Also, it makes mention that the reason why the Pacifistas were made a thing is because in order to eliminate the cost, because Kuma cannot afford them, he decides to let himself be cloned, and Vegapunk uses that to make the Pacifistas. They are supposed to be individuals that are strong, can shoot lasers, and protect the weak. However, we know that based off of what Saturn said about weapons and how they're meant to be used to hurt and kill individuals or destroy people, that he probably ends up misusing Vegapunk's intent to make these Pacifista. There's also a line where Kuma, he says he would make a deal with the devil if that meant by healing Bonney. And I want to know, because he kind of did. He lost his memories and he became a cyborg, lost his personality and his humanity. So he probably ended up making a deal with Saturn. And I want to know what that deal was, because I don't know exactly the chapter, but Bonney talked about after seeing Kuma's memories that Saturn killed her father. So what deal did he have to make? Chances are the deal that he made probably was something along the lines of saving or protecting or allowing Bonney to escape and live a long life. The chapter ends with us finding out how the Pacifista got their name. They got it because Kuma said that he's nothing but a pacifist, and Vegapunk was inspired by that name and said, hey, I'm gonna call these clone soldiers the Pacifista. There's no break next week, and this is chapter 1100. I think that it'll probably be a normal chapter. I don't think that there's going to be anything special necessarily about it. I mean, it could be. I think there's supposed to be a break after that chapter, and typically Oda likes to leave us with some insane plot twist, so I'm really looking forward to it. But let me know how you guys felt about this chapter in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.